Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, and today I want to talk a little bit about my computer, which it's not very good anymore. I first built it in 2015 and even then it was mid-tier. It's got a Intel i5 440 CPU from whatever generation that was in 2015. It's got an R9 290 double X something, right? It's AMD graphics card. It used to have 16 gigs of RAM, but now it's got 8 gigs of RAM because one of the RAM sticks failed last year. So I had to troubleshoot the problem and take all the little bits out and figure out what the problem was. It turns out it was one of the RAM sticks. So now I'm down to 8 gigs of RAM. Storage I'm okay. I've got 3 terabytes of storage. That's the one thing I'm good at. Power supply is a bit too good for what it is. It's a 750 watt. It used to be about 500 watt, but when I was editing my first movie, I spent a lot of time exporting things, and midway through the export, the computer was just off like that, right? And I troubleshooted the problem, and it turned out that it was a power supply issue, so I shelled out 70 quid for a better power supply back then. But apart from that, I haven't actually changed anything about this computer whatsoever. It's been the same computer for 10 years, right? And it went from Windows 7 to Windows 10 because they let me do a free upgrade or something like that for some reason. So I got Windows 10 all right, but now they want me onto Windows 11. And I realized with Windows 11, I don't know if it's like it doesn't support my hardware or something like that, or my hardware is not really good enough to run Windows 11 anymore. But whatever the problem is, I can't really keep using this computer from 10 years ago because it's already starting to give me grief, right? For instance, editing my debut feature film, A Sheffield Psychedelic, what I had to do, I had to download Handbrake and turn every single video file into these micro, tiny proxies. Honestly, turning a gigabyte video file into about 500 kilobytes, right? So we're talking about 1/2000th the quality. The quality of these things is atrocious, right? But I had to do it that way just so that I could even load the thing at all. Adobe's proxies weren't good enough. Adobe's proxies are like 1/8 or 1/16th the quality, nowhere near enough. I needed so much smaller than that. So I had to go in a Handbrake and do that to about like 8,000 files, something like that, which that took about 2 weeks. So that was annoying. And then I started editing it. And then when it came to the actual exporting of the film, right? I mean, the whole film went through a long editing process. And when it came back to me as a nearly finished product, ready to be exported, right? He'd been working with the proxy files that I'd originally been working with, and that was an oversight on my behalf when I transferred the thing over, when I handed it over the hard drive to him. Everything was linked to the proxy files, and I realized I can't unlink them to the normal files. I physically can't do that because the computer can't support it, right? So what I had to do is I had to phone up my good friend, Sam, and ask him for a massive favour. I've asked him for a couple favours in the past, right? And so I went to his studio, Creative Spark Works, right? I can't remember if it's Creative Spark Works or Creative Sparks Works. Sparks or Spark Works. Anyway, I had to go over there just to get the film exported. And there I also had to link every single clip, right, in the timeline, which took a while. And his computers are an awful lot better than mine, and I was able to get it done all over there. But the fact is, I had to haul myself all the way to the other side of London just to export a film, right? When most people could just press a button on their computer. I can't do that, right? And I still can't do that. I made a 2.5 hour behind the scenes making of documentary for my debut feature film, and I had to render everything and edit everything in 480p. And I had to export it in 480p because I literally could not export it in 1080p. It would have been impossible, right? I would have not been able to do any of the intricate little edits you see in that documentary. None of that would be possible. I can do this stuff in 1080p because it's literally just one long shot, right? So this style that's kind of come about here, across 400 odd videos like this kind of came about because of a limitation that I faced with my computer, right? And now it's looking like I'm going to have to upgrade it, because on the 14th of October, Windows 11 is going to be rolled out and made mandatory, and anyone that has Windows 10, I'm going to get security updates. So I have two options, right? One, I can unplug the Ethernet from my computer and just run it as an offline device, and anytime I export a video on my computer, I can put it onto an SD card and then put the SD card into my laptop and then do all the uploading from my laptop. So it's a bit more of a workflow, but it means I can keep using the same system that I've been using for the last 10 years, or I can shell out a load of money for a new computer. And I don't really want to do that, because as far as I'm concerned, admittedly my computer gives me a load of issues, right? But it turns on, right? Lately it started wheezing as it turns on, but it does turn on, right? All the parts in it do work. The hard drive still works, the CPU still works, the motherboard still works, they all connect to each other. The graphics card doesn't work anymore, but that's fine. I'm just running it off the iGPU, it's just fine, right? I don't even need graphics card heavy video stuff for video editing. You don't need much of a GPU for video editing. It's not mandatory, right? You can do it without a GPU. So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. And that's been fine, right? I don't do gaming. I'm not a PC gamer. The last video game I played was Fallout 4, and it was a disappointment, right? So, and to me, Fallout 4 is a new game, right? Even though it's 10 years old now, right? So, yeah, I have to give a massive thank you to Sam from Creative Sparks Works, or Creative Spark Works. I have to give a massive thank you to him. Creative Sparks Works is a sort of charity thing with some, I think, some government funding or something. I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but basically they're like a mini school where you do these little courses for filmmaking, right? I never took one of these courses because you need to be a citizen, you have to be registered as a citizen in Lambeth, right? You need to be registered, and it's all done through Lambeth Council, right? And I don't live in Lambeth, so I can never get on the course. But I was always kind of this weird floater around the course, right? So I've seen it in action. It's really good. The students learn a lot, and I got a lot of work out of it. And anyone that I've spoken to that's done the course has good things to say about it. So I'm kind of advertising it and shilling it out now to anyone that hopefully lives in Lambeth that's watching this, because Sam did me a big favour on helping me to get Sheffield Psychedelic out. And if it wasn't for Sam, this film would not be out yet. And I hope I put him in the special thanks. I might not have, because literally the final export of that film was done so rush, right? Because he stayed until like 1 in the morning with me, right? He's like, I can't believe the amount of like thanks I have for Sam, right? Because he did his day at the course, right, which finished at about 6, right? And I turn up at about 5:30, right, to get the film done, linked and edited, right? I thought the linking thing was only going to take like half an hour. Stupid of me. It took about 2.5 hours, and then I exported it, and the export took about an hour. Whereas at my house, it wouldn't have been possible, right? But if it had been possible, it would have taken about a month. So a month to about an hour, right? And after the hour, I was skimming through it, and then in one particular shot, right, where we have a warp stabilizer on it, because it was such a windy day, even though it was locked on a tripod for weight and sandbags and stuff, it was still shaking all over the place. It had a warp stabilizer needs to be rendered thing. There's a little strip that comes over it, right? Looks like this. So, yeah. That was on it. You can't really have that. It's not cinematic, this, is it? So get rid of that, right? So I had to go back and export it again, right? It took another hour. And I remember at the end of that hour just being like, come on, you're at 99%. Come on, I know you can do it. You can do it, brother. You can do it. Come on. And then when I got to 100%, I was like, come on, you're at 100%. You can fucking do this. Yes, come on. Right, and because at the end of the export, the little bar disappears, and then there's a little thing at the bottom that says video exported. Go have a look at the video. When that happened, honestly, it was like a curse was lifted from my body. Honestly, it was like a cold chill went all the way down my spine, right, and left me through my feet. It was fantastic. It was bliss in a jar, right? It was everything that I've been working up to for so many years, and I managed to get it done, right? And this video, this thanks and the little advert for Creative Sparks Works, is the last thing I have to do for Sheffield Psychedelic. And that's it. And I'm so thankful again to Sam. I cannot stress it enough. If you live in Lambeth and you're interested in film, do Creative Sparks Works. That's not an option. I'm not saying, oh, please check it out. No, do it, right? Because it's actually really useful. And yeah, so I think I might have to get a new computer. I don't want to, I might have to. I'm thinking I might be able to get around it, right? Because I need a new motherboard, right? Because I need to get DDR5 RAM. I currently have DDR3 RAM. So I need a new motherboard that supports a DDR5 RAM, right? So I need a new motherboard. I need a new RAM. I need new RAM, right? And I need Windows 11. And I think I need one other thing. I did the maths on it, but I need one other thing. But I could just keep the same case and keep most of the same components and just zombify it and just like upgrade it. New motherboard, what's that? About 50 quid. New RAM, about 100 quid, 150 quid. I could do that. I have, for some reason, an AMD Ryzen 3700X just lying around that I bought when I was going to upgrade my computer when I came into some money about 5 years ago, and I bought the CPU and then did nothing with it. And now the CPU is worth about 50 quid. But I tell you what, it's better than the CPU that I've got at the moment by a long shot. So I'm not gonna buy another CPU, I'm just gonna use that CPU, and then that CPU stops working, I'll get another CPU. So it's a stupid thing to buy that CPU, but hey, maybe it'll finally get some use about 5 years down the line. So yeah, that's the future of my computer. And you know, it's done me well over 10 years, this whole thing. And it is definitely an old computer now. I realized it last year. This computer, I was like, this computer's 9 years old. Wow. Bloody hell. Because I thought when I made that computer, the computer that is the age that the computer is now, back then, that would have been a computer made in 2005, if that makes sense. So a computer made in 2005 was as old to the computer when I built it as the computer is to me now, right? So that's just insane to me, right? That I'm basically using a computer from 2005, well, 2015, but like in the metaphor, you get what? Well, I don't understand why all these new programs are so much bigger than all the other ones. When I first got it, I had Adobe 2015, right? And that was like 700 megabytes, right? And then what was I on? I was on Adobe 2022, and that was like 4 gigabytes. So I went from 700 megabytes to about 4 gigabytes. And then I got Adobe 2025 recently, right? And that's fucking like 28 gigs. Why is it 28 gigs? What's in it? It's the same fucking thing as before, right? The text editor's worse now. So I can't even use the legacy one anymore. The legacy one was so much better, right? Everything, like, it's not a better program, right? All the effects that I like to use, I have to go into a little folder called obsolete just to find them. I don't understand that at all. But, yes, it's just strange. It's really weird. But I think that's why the computer's struggling, because it's trying to use software that's so much further along. There must be something new to it that's you know, I don't know. I don't know why Adobe needs to be 25 times the size that it was 10 years ago. I don't know why my computer that's 10 years old can't do things now today. But it can't, it's not allowed to use Windows 11 for some reason, and I have to get a new computer, or I have to unplug it and extend my workflow by quite a lot. So great. You know, my laptop is actually better than my computer. It's weird. The laptop that I bought for £120 is better than the computer that I bought and built for £700. And you build it because you're going to save some money. So it really would have been worth like 1,100 quid. So that's insane, just how much cheaper technology's gotten. Why not just wait another 10 years and just buy a computer for a tenner? Anyway, that's going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. I hope you managed to get something out of this. Let me know if you've got this sort of issue. Is your computer really old? Have you been facing issues with transitioning over to Windows 11? And if so, let me know what they are in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear, especially in how you managed to work your way out of it, right? Can you just keep using Windows 10 with the Ethernet unplugged? Let me know, because it's not, my computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi chip in it. It's just Ethernet. So let me know in the comments below. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts and your experiences with your own computers. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.